Welcome. I'm Alice Alicia Jones, and this is another one of my Living Consciously videos. I can't quite get the lighting on the Facebook Live, so you're just going to have to bear with me. I tried it with the light off, I tried it with the light on. Nothing's working. But anyway, my YouTube seems to be fine. I'm again sitting with the archangels, four archangels behind me, and Saint Gabriel is the one blowing his trumpet. And I think it's Saint Michael on this end. And I'm covering Saint Raphael and Saint Uriel. But I love the feeling of them kind of protecting me, kind of hovering over me as I do this. This is just another section of my Reiki room that I have chosen to show you. I'm going to move around a little bit from week to week just so that you can see different sections of the Reiki room. I welcome you to this. I'm doing a new presentation every Friday at 1 o'clock, and today we're going to continue with the clairs, the clear. And today's section is clear smelling, clairsavant. I had my earliest experience with clairsavant when I was in fifth grade. When we came from America, we moved to the east side of Grand Rapids, Michigan, into a home that had sat vacant for 17 years. And it had apparently plumbing didn't work, electricity didn't work. Fortunately, my father was skilled in both of those and was able to repair them. And so when we came in, my mother called this home her palace because she had obviously no memory of ever owning what her mother and father apparently did own a home prior to him going to Canada. But once he left for Canada after 10 years, all communication stopped. And from the time he left, her mother had to move them into her parents' house. She said that had holes in it so big you could put a fist through it. So, to my mother, this house was a palace. But after about 10 years of living there, she got antsy. And my father was in construction and was building new homes. So she wanted one of them. And so, unbeknownst to my dad, she moved us into one of those new homes, the one that didn't sell. And so he came home to an empty house. But the casualty in the new house was the fact that she could not bring two major pieces of furniture. She couldn't bring her dining room set because it was too massive, it was too big. I presume it was a gift to her because I know that when they came from Poland, they could afford nothing. And it was just by sheer will and determination that they kept moving forward. And but it was I have fond memories of it. It was an old-fashioned style, but it was magnificent, and it had this enormous sideboard. And the sideboard, the middle section of the top drawer of the sideboard, had a velvet-lined section for silverware. And I just remember polishing that furniture and just loving it. And I think that probably was my exposure to beautiful furniture. And that's where I developed my love for beautiful furniture, was from the experience with that dining room set. But the other piece that was the casualty that we couldn't bring with us was an upright piano. And I had taken piano lessons from first grade to fourth grade at St. Isidore's Elementary. My teacher was the principal of the school, and she loved me and she loved teaching piano. And I reciprocated by practicing all the time and advancing rapidly. And so effectively, she was just very pleased with my progress and just very, very encouraging and just a delightful, delightful person to have as a piano teacher. In fifth grade, when we had no piano, I was then forced, if I was going to take lessons, to take my practice sessions as well as my lessons in a room that when I walked into it, it felt so moldy and so dusty that I will never forget that sensation of feeling as if I had almost walked into a room where somebody was dying. And that energy never left me. That sense of death, dying, stagnant, um, immovable energy, that never left me. And so I very quickly got very discouraged about continuing with piano. And plus, the little nun that was teaching me just didn't have her heart in it. I suspect she was somewhere in her 80s and she should have long retired. And my memory is pretty distant on this, but I think I was also rapped on my knuckles with a ruler every time I did a chord wrong. So, anyways, it wasn't a good scene. And as a result, I ended up quitting, unfortunately. But that was, like I said, my first experience with very stale, dead energy. And that's the gift of Clairsavant. How you can use that yourself is that pay attention to what something smells like when you go there. Let's say you have to enroll your child in a new school, but let's say you're torn between one school versus another. Your sense of your sense of smell is going to help you make that decision, is going to help you decide, do you really want to go with one place versus going with another? Because it can give you a warning as to, again, what type of attitude is present in this school. The next personal experience that I had that was amazing to me when it occurred was when I came home with my firstborn. And I had, if you've gone to the other, if you've listened to any of the other videos, you might remember that my mother died 11 days before my baby was born. So effectively, it took me about 6 months before I came back to my father's house and brought my little girl with me, my lovely little baby Elizabeth. And when I walked in that night, I had an experience that I've described in clairvoyance, where I saw my mother quickly go down the hall. But the next morning is where this experience occurred. And this was the experience of clairsavant. Because what happened to me is that I smelled the scent of her perfume, but I smelled it so strongly that it was as if somebody had taken a bottle of her perfume, dumped it over, And so I basically almost tore the bathroom apart, looking in every single corner and every crevice behind everything just to see if that was there. That was my mother just telling me she's present, she's there, and effectively, she's there for me. Because one of the biggest heartaches I ever had was the fact that because Elizabeth was born on May 5th, my birthday's May 7th, May 9th that year, I think, was Mother's Day. And while my father and my sisters called me to wish me a happy Mother's Day, I could not call her to wish her a happy Mother's Day. So I did, but in spirit. And it was challenging. It was very, very difficult. And anyway, but the fact that she brought in the scent of her perfume so strongly, and she only wore the one perfume. She never varied it. And I think if I remember correctly, it was called Dana, or something like that. And it had a very distinct floral scent of many different types of flowers. So you couldn't pin it to lilac or rose or lily of the valley or something like that. But it truly was an amazing thing for me to uh, to sense that. And then the next time, one of the gifts that the Blessed Mother and the Divine Feminine brings to us is the scent of roses. So just know that if you smell roses and there's no possibility of it coming from anywhere except from the ethers, just know that the Blessed Mother has gifted you with her scent. Or it could be Lady Nada. She also comes in with the gift of roses. She's the ascended master of the sixth ray who who takes care of infants and who takes care of all the little souls that come back to heaven. It could be Saint Teresa the Little Flower. It could be Saint Teresa Avila. And I know there are some Indian saints whose names I don't know, but they also come in with roses. So though only one time that one of my friends had an experience of this was when we chose to go to Emmitsburg in Maryland. Emmitsburg is right above, I'm sorry, right at the top of Virginia. Is it Emmitsburg, Virginia, or Pennsylvania? Oh boy, I'm all of a sudden my geography is leaving me. Uh, I think it's Emmitsburg in Maryland, but it's right below the Pennsylvania line. And so as you go there, the special thing that happened in Emmitsburg was that the Blessed Mother appeared to continue to appear for years and years and years to a young gal called Giovanna. And the every single Thursday night, they had a special mass, and between the fourth and fifth decade of the Rosary, she would descend through the ethers, descend through the top of the church, and then appear to Giovanna. And at the end of the first service, the one of my friends said, "Oh, I knew she was there because I smelled roses." And then we went a second time, and my other friend said, um, because we went, the same three of us went twice. And she goes, "Oh, I knew she was there because I saw this brilliant light start and then just expand." And all I kept thinking of is, geez, I'm the only Catholic in the group, and I didn't get any kind of sign. But when I asked my guides just recently why I was never gifted with a sign, the answer I got was, "You didn't need one," because I do believe she was there. I did believe. I did not have to have any kind of special kind of notice that she was there. And this continued for years. The Blessed Mother's presence would continue showing up until it got that so many people were coming to the church that the church felt that it was getting too much publicity, and so they basically put a stop to this. So I truly don't know if the Blessed Mother, I haven't checked recently, so I don't know if the Blessed Mother is still appearing in Emmitsburg. But when I did check to see where she's appearing, she's basically appearing around the world. She's appearing in many, many more places than you would believe possible. And because they're not getting publicity. So if you want to just Google it. Just go into Google and just say recent sightings or miraculous sightings of the Blessed Mother. Or I think I know it has the word miracles in it, like miracle sightings of the Blessed Mother. So please, just take it upon yourself to find out what it is that you recently. I've been led to follow Mary Magdalene's teachings, and and once I stopped reading Mary's Message to the World, then I was guided to read Anna, grandmother of Jesus. I will pick up on some of those teachings that came through from Anna, and now once I finished that book, then I was guided to continue the study with Mary Magdalene. The last thing that I wanted to share with you about Clairsavant is to use this experience as for what it is. If it's meant to be a warning, you will get a very rotten smell. And that smell will kind of hang around. And again, you won't know where it's coming from, but trust it. It is meant to tell you um, to use. I think these words appear in Hamlet. There is something rotten in Denmark, or something smells rotten in Denmark. So just know that you are being given a gift, and just know that that gift comes from the higher aspect of yourself. I thank you for joining. I am so thrilled that you're here. And if you're looking for a Christmas gift, there's nothing better than Own Your Power Day by Day. Again, meditations for every day. It takes you a year to get through this book. Available on Amazon and available through my website, AliciaJones.com. And Alicia is spelled Alicja. That's the Polish spelling of Alice. That's where Alice comes from. So I wish you a blessed week. I know that we're going into a season of the Festival of Lights, and for many, it's going to be an extremely sad season because of what's happening with COVID. But just remember, you carry that light inside of you. So I will see you next week, Friday, and I bless you and I thank you for being here.